Graven waited in the hallway by the open door to the battlements, considering the purse of gold in his hand. He looked up at the sound of many footsteps approaching. As the hooded men appeared in the hall, Graven stepped back and watched as they filed past him, one by one, and out through the open door. Among their number was another person, whose head and torso were hidden under a long sack. Suddenly Graven understood. This was no assassination. This was some kind of abduction. The question was who? Graven watched as the hooded strangers manhandled their captive out into the rain. In the dim half-light, Graven caught a glimpse of silver trimming at the end of the captive's royal blue robes. Graven gazed in horror as he realized the truth. These men weren't here to assassinate the Queen. They had come to kidnap the King of Armonde. Graven wasn't a praying man, but he quickly made the sign of the one god across his chest and whispered for the Almighty's forgiveness. He then instinctively placed one hand on his sword hilt. It was true he had taken payment for lowering the rope and opening the door. But did that mean he should stand aside and allow evil to continue beneath his nose? Graven glanced over the hooded men as they wound the rope round the captured king and prepared to lower him to the battlement below. There were 12 villains in all, but not one amongst them carried an obvious weapon. Graven was a master swordsman. On the narrow rampart, he could remain in the doorway to prevent them rushing him as a group, and cut them down in turn. Even now, he could still rescue King Calvin and become the hero of the hour. "Let him go," said Graven, drawing his sword in a clean stroke. The men froze in their actions, and remained rooted like a group of hooded statues in the rain. A moment passed before their leader came forward. He took a second purse hanging from his belt and offered it to Graven. But Graven tensed and pointed his sword tip at the man's hidden face, preparing to skewer him in the throat. "This is no matter of gold. If you wish to escape with your lives, you will release the king immediately." The man's other hand whisked in Graven's direction, leaving a fine cloud of iridescent gold sparks twinkling in the rainfall. At first, Graven imagined it to be some kind of spell, some kind of magic fairy powder that might transform him into God knows what. But then the pain struck him, an agonized burning as the fine sparkles cut deep into his face like searing glass. Graven let go of his sword, which clattered by his feet. He dropped to his knees, wailing in torment and clutching both hands to his burning face. Dark shapes gathered around him, hoisted him off his feet, and heaved him over the rampart wall. For a few brief moments, Graven was weightless as he plummeted through the rainy darkness, until his body slammed against the stone battlements and killed him on impact.